Wait a minute, it says we're live. Are we actually live this week with Hey, we populated the chat. Wow, it actually worked. I'm looking over here to see if it's coming up on YouTube. It should
I
be.
don't see. I don't
It
see.
should be spinning up. Okay, let's try. It's still not doing it. I mean, if I hit replay, what happens? But I'm seeing the chat. See, I'm seeing
I
these
see the
people,
yeah, I see the chat, but I'm not seeing. I'm refreshing the page, and
and it's nothing's happening on the page. What's
it
going
mucks,
on?
it mucks, it mucks,
What
it
Three
the
in
mucks,
a
hell?
it mucks
three in a
sucks.
row.
Wait! There, hey, it just took forever. It took the two full minutes to actually come up. It finally came up.
There
So
we
wait a
go.
minute. I'll go back as far as it's to let me go. It goes. It was 19 minutes ago. USA Drone Flyer Captain Joe America came in first. AZ Drone Dude David came in. Good evening. Jody Drone Shots. Good to see you. Akira Show Warren in the house. The Grumpy Vlogger Lloyd. Good to see you. Zach, glad to see you in the house. Blah, blah, blah. Chuck Kovaction, glad to have you here. Glad to have Brian in the house as well. I don't know where Ron's at. I do know that Angel has. He went to see Pearl Jam on their last night, and then tonight he's got a band concert and wedding arrangements, so he won't be in this evening. Ron may show up. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what's going on there. Let's see if there's anybody I missed. Randy here. Leonard Oglesby, glad to see you. Johnny Drone Flyer, good to see you. He's telling everybody hello. Na 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 na. See if there's anybody I missed. Trying to roll up here really quick. Dale was, I was told Dale earlier, he was celebrating, what was it, 30 years in the industry today. That was very cool. 30 years in the drone industry, right? 30 years in the drone industry today? Watching me say, stop making me feel that old. Or 10 years, 10 years. I don't
Say
know. Maybe
30.
maybe it's 10 years. Maybe it's 10
Say,
years.
what was
Yeah,
his first
10
drone?
years. I'm old and forgetful. He's like, yeah, check back in 20. I'm like, I don't know. We'll try. All right. So, as right before we went live, we were having a discussion about 107 and a recreational pilot. And my question was, what did the hobbyists do wrong? Because if y'all remember when we all started flying drones back in the day, we actually could go 400 feet up, 400 feet above, 400 feet around an object, pretty much like a 107 pilot could. So we could do things very similar to that. And I was asking Randy, and like I was asking Brian, what did the hobbyist pilot do wrong? And I've asked this 2 or 3 times. Other than it being a money grab for the FAA, what did the recreational pilot do wrong to deserve all that be taken away from them? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I understand that it's just totally a money grab. To me, the cool thing would be 107. You get to make money. Recreational pilot, you don't. But see, the loophole is any recreational pilot can sell their footage or pictures after the fact, as long as the intent of the flight itself was recreational. And until Curtis started informing me the reason why, it didn't really make sense to me because of news media. So if you're up flying around and you happen to capture something during your recreational flight that's newsworthy, then a local news agency has the right to purchase your media from you, even though it was a recreational flight, so that they can put it on their station and get the news out to the people. So that's the loophole that allows recreational pilots to be able to sell their media after the fact. As long as the intent of the flight itself was meant to be recreational, you can actually sell it after the fact. You can sell it years after the fact too, but that's the only loophole. But my question is what the hell did the recreational pilot do to have 400 feet around above an object? You know,
I
and then
think
we can't think of nothing.
I think it's a couple different things. I think it's money. Money's one thing, but safety has to be another one because they want to limit the amount of people that are using going that high and doing certain stuff. So they force you to go through the 107, so you have no deniability. You know the rules, and you know what to do.
Well,
And
they were going to slam Mikey with $150,000 worth of rules that they didn't give a shit if he knew or not.
yeah, but I'm sure they didn't just come with that fine from jump. He was probably warned
He
and
was.
educated.
But the whole point is now they're not going to do anything to him because he's following the rules.
Well, they took away his drones. Not
Yeah,
hard to
that's
do
pretty.
anything.
I didn't
That
think
was
they
pretty harsh.
took him away. I because he was on last night talking about as long as he complied, he was fine.
No,
I
they
don't.
the ones he couldn't sell, they forced him to forfeit them.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't hear all the tail end of it. I guess that is kind of crappy.
What the heck?
I'm still trying to figure out how they legally could have done that.
Yeah, and that was the question too. Is what branch of the government? I mean, the IRS can do all kinds of stuff, but not them. I mean, I don't get that.
Yeah, but that's really weird. I mean, so what happens? They come in and go, "You have too many bicycles.
Well,
You need to sell." You
I
know.
think it applies to like all crimes. Like if you commit a crime, the object or whatever you use to commit that crime, they can seize that permanently. So he committed a crime with those drones, and legally they have the right to seize them.
But the thing about it was that if the more they talked about it, wasn't it? It was like there was a lot of gray area. Like he was barely brushing on the city laws, and he was barely brushing on the FAA laws. And it's not like you can intertwine the two and create something new and go, "We can seize your drones now." I'm like,
Yeah, it's a. I think it's a little bit overreaching. Like they kind of went they kind of put the hammer down on him.
yeah, but why not somebody that would actually be that recognizable to the community? It's not. I'm not trying to say Mikey's not recognizable, but Mikey's got what 11,000 subscribers, and there's other people that have done stupid shit that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but they don't do shit to them.
Right, but
I don't understand that. Anyway,
they I think Mikey got the short end of the stick on that deal, but he did go online and kind of kind of talk shit on the FAA for lack of a better term.
well, but the whole point is remember when Rotor Riot went batshit crazy and did all kinds of crazy stuff, and they posted all that shit online, and it was like they didn't make examples of them just because they're making millions of dollars in the industry. Oh, they're untouchable. Let's go
That's
slap
true.
down Mikey. Let's get
Yeah.
the. I mean, I know. I mean, but like I said, 11,000 subscribers. His voice still isn't going to go that far. It's like kind of, when you got a mosquito that lands on your shoulder and you go, "Oh."
Well, I still think is part of it is making an example of. I mean, he's not the only one. They find that guy, the FPV dude, Nurk. What was that like a $15,000 fine he had to shovel out? That wasn't
Yeah, but he
fun.
probably got that back from sponsors too.
Well,
And was it?
but that's not the. That's besides the point, though. I mean, that's still money out of your pocket that would have been there.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Oh wait a minute, John. Wait a minute. That's what he's talking about. Some decent fines, 15,000, but 15,000 when a sponsor could pay it back. And I understand that Mikey got warnings and everything, but I'm just saying, I've seen larger channels do punishable shit and nothing's ever said or done. I mean, of course, the big thing was, like you said, Mikey multiple times kind of snubbed his nose in their face.
Yeah.
And I think like that's what put that. It was like, okay, one, two, three times you're out. I guess that's what it
And
said.
actually, he was from what I heard from him, he was looking on the upside of it, but he violated a court order, and that kind of compounded everything, which ultimately resulted in what we're seeing now.
But what we're saying is we don't see the justification behind the court order itself. Is they're trying to combine like an FAA jurisdiction and law with a local law, and they're trying to say what was a nuisance because the FAA says this, and then the city of Philadelphia says this, and then the FAA says this, and then they kind of stuck them together and went, now that's how we're going to get you. And I'm like, but I get where he went too far too many times.
But no, I agree
Oh,
with you. The penalty was a little harsh.
I don't know. I think yeah, Mikey is what he is. I mean, most of what he does is an act. You
Well,
know,
it's not the thing. Like it is, it's not like he's selling Bitcoin or something, or he hacked some
yeah,
damn big country's computer system and he got access to everybody's data, and they took all these drones away. I mean, they take these people's computer away and stick them in computer nerd jail for 6 years, and then they get out, and then they end up with a computer again. And I'm like, what did Mikey do? I don't know. He should have just said it was all an act of civil disobedience.
yeah.
I'd like to know if that's a
Protesting.
lifetime ban or if he'll be able to redeem himself.
Well, how's he going to redeem himself if they let him get rid of all his drones, man?
Well,
I'm
I
fighting
have
for it.
heard that if he gets a 107 and is on some sort of probation for like a year or something, they'll start letting him have
Right,
drones
right.
again,
Like
which is stupid. What's he going to fly in the meantime? A binding fly in the house?
No, they're going to have his drone's going to be on an ankle bracelet.
I think if he can show a concerted effort over a certain period of time that he's taking it serious, like Brian said, get his 107. I think they might give him a little bit of leeway.
Oh, and I went to. Yeah, everybody, y'all remember remember Nemo that used to be on here? Randy, you might not, but I know Gary's studying to get his 107. I was like, oh no, no. I'm melting. The recreational pilot is melting. Oh no. It's fading into the past, man. Everybody's just buckling under and getting the
Well,
107.
I'll get my 107 again, maybe, if they don't run DJI off out of the country.
What the,
Otherwise, what's the point?
hey, there he is. There he is.
Fly
Let's
for
add him
America.
to. Okay, Ron
Well,
Brown.
gentlemen, how are you tonight? Sorry I'm late.
Here's
What's
the
up,
question.
Ron?
Here's the question. What did the recreational pilot do to lose his rights of flying? To give you a basic example, 400 feet around above an object. What did a recreational pilot do to lose that right? Other than it being a money grab for 107.
Yeah. When they invented Part 107, they took that away, huh? Or yeah, that's a good question, Bill. I'd like anybody to cite some safety reasons why that was removed from the
Okay.
hobbyist pilots.
And then we jumped over to talking about Philly drone life, and they were saying that they've kind of implied that if Philly will get his 107 and kind of follow some guidelines and tutelage, that he would be allowed to fly again.
And get
Which
his drones back, possibly.
so so, but that's just basically telling all of us in that way that they don't want recreational pilots to exist because technically Mikey's flying by the rules that I'm saying the recreational pilot unjustly had taken away from him.
Right, and that 2019, those violations were almost probably within the first year of them being taken away.
Yeah. And it's just like everybody's making a joke about it. I said where he's kind of screwed up in my opinion is he should have said each time was an act of civil disobedience because he does have that much of a right. But he was like I said, thumbing his nose at him, thinking that he would get by with it, and enough was enough, and he pushed the wrong button, and they said, "Okay, slap, slap, slap." But I
Right,
had no idea that they made
and,
him.
and they were even. He got that big fight even before he kind of went on his big thumb in their nose. I mean, he's always been thumbing their nose, but he thumbed the nose worse after he got the fine. So you can't even say the fine is all related to thumbing the nose.
Well, they were just telling me he has no more drones.
Right. They last week he said this on Dono show. There's somebody who was coming, or he had to take all his drones in by the what do you call it, the serial number, because he had a hard time explaining to him that he didn't have all the serial numbers because all his carrier French drones he doesn't have those serial numbers anymore. He sent them back into DJI and got a different drone with another
Yeah.
serial number.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but he said that he could possibly, get all those drones back again if he did everything that the court wanted, I guess, including the Part 107 you mentioned. And he is up to Chapter 4. I don't know whose course he's taken, but he was well on his way to getting it before his latest run-in.
Okay. Now I just happened to see what John and them were talking about. So Zach got called during COVID about a video from the FAA, and then John's like, "Okay, here you go." He said, "Did anything major happen as a result?" Okay, and he's like, okay, posted 2 years prior, filming a parade. They didn't like that I was flying over people. I told them the video. They just told me to take the video down. Wow. Trippy, man.
Like, remember the guy in Florida during the COVID? I hope that's not the same guy. The guy that in Florida, he started making videos that were getting like hundreds of thousands of views, and unfortunately he was flying over a bunch of people in Florida during the COVID, and he got called. He had to take his drone, he had to take his videos down and whatever, but it never was a fine or anything. He never turned his drones in or anything.
Well, like what John's point is compliance.
Yeah,
It was the whole point was they did what they were told to do, and
right.
so nothing ever came of it. So, like that person that you're talking about in Florida, they probably said, "Okay, here's the deal: you can leave your videos up since they've gotten so many views, but don't post anymore. Just keep them privately to yourself. Don't post them on YouTube, or you'll face the consequences." And he's
Yeah,
like,
Actually,
"Okay."
I think he later on just made videos that were more responsible.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. And
compliance.
of course, they didn't do as well. His
I was gonna
views
say, who's
went
gonna
way
watch
down.
that?
Yeah,
when he
exactly.
did
Well,
quote,
that was
responsible videos.
that was Mikey's point too. Was the unless you do the absolute crazy stupid shit, you're not going to get the views.
And what,
You know?
Mikey's point is that, and anybody that knows anything knows that he half the stuff in his videos he's just it's just an act or whatever. Sure, maybe he's doing a couple things in the video, right? But mostly every time he says my drone's going down, it's going down. It's not going down. It never was going down.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just to act to get views.
Yeah, yeah. But
Like Mikey should have put a big disclaimer at the beginning of his videos, like TV shows and do. Nothing you can see in this video is real.
well, the whole point is YouTube can advertise the hell out of those videos and make money all day long, and they don't get shit
They're not
done
pulling
to
anything
them.
down now.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
they're not getting anything done to them, man. You
Now, isn't
know?
there's got to be a statute of limitations on on content? Like if you post a video 4 years ago, can they come back and try to charge you with it?
Well, Mikey, some of his flights, they were hitting him for stuff he did a year before or whatever. I mean, I know he was out a long time, but it wasn't like they were just hitting him for the video for last week. I mean, when they came up with all the stuff, they had like, I don't know, 59 live streams or whatever dating back more than a year. That all had some sort of a violation.
and
Well,
to John-
sometimes the violation was as little as, well, he has a monetized channel and he didn't have a part 107. It could have been as minor as that.
Well, like John's pointing out here, he's like, I get plenty of views without doing stupid stuff. You do tutorial stuff and review stuff, especially FPV has kind of blown up here over the last little while. So, and I've got to put Warren's comment up. Philly Drone Life the musical coming to Broadway.
And really, when you think about it, Bill, at the time Ken Hare was blowing up, Mikey is really just a kind of a more out of there Ken Hare or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I see that.
He's just a crazier Ken Hare or whatever, And Ken Hare's the same way, Ken Hare looks at these videos, looks like he's taking all this, doing this wild stuff. If you're actually with him when he's doing these videos, it's not as wild as it looks in the video.
Dre's got a really good
editing.
point. Dre's got a really good point here too. When Mikey came out and said, "Hey, I'm doing all this crazy stuff just to get views, so YouTube will send me a check."
Yeah. Nobody gets rewarded for honesty anymore, Bill.
Well, he's admitting that he's doing it flying the drones, and that's blatantly in the face of 107. But that's my question though. I mean,
of course, Mikey started this stuff before you had that.
So we
have
got
a
punished
107
because
that
of
posted
Mikey.
video.
That's it. Every recreational pilot can blame their harnessed and shackles not being able to fly 400 feet above and around an object anymore on Philly Drone Life. Because that's the only thing I could possibly think of that the FAA could justify saying, we've got to rein those recreational pilots in. They're just going batshit crazy. You know,
Right.
that's
Look at
all I
all the
can.
problems that are caused for them flying 400 feet over a building or whatever. There's accidents every time they do that.
Hell yeah, you know, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just craziness.
yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody?
Yeah, well, Russ had that video this week. We're back to he was saying that he finally thinks they are trying to get the pilots us pilots out of the air. And a couple years ago, we were throwing a theory around that they want us out of the air because they wanted to make room for the Amazon, UPS, what delivery drones or whatever, and that still hasn't happened. You know, a couple years later now. So why do they really want us out of the air? But if it's not for the delivery drones, I mean, I know
Meet
that
George
they're saying they
Jetson,
want us out of the air because they're going to have those
Jane, his
those
wife.
carrier drones. People they're going to have drones carrying people around.
Did you hear what I said there, Ron?
But
Meet George Jetson,
yeah,
Jane, his wife.
right, right. Now they got to get them out of the way for the George Jetson people mover drones or whatever. Now at the
Yeah,
Amazon
the people
drone.
movers. I just
Yeah,
want to, man, just give me a transporter. Just let me
yeah,
jump
yeah.
into it. Jump in there. They can scramble my molecules, and then they can pop them out somewhere in
I
Australia,
think
and I'll be fine.
There you
I think a
go.
lot of what the FAA's agenda is, there hasn't been any like you said, like accidents involving casualties or anything, but they want to get ahead of it and try to prevent stuff from that from happening.
And I don't know if it's so much the FAA. Most of these crazy things has happened because of the people, their bosses, the Congress and whatever. People above them are forcing them to do a lot of these crazy rules and regs or whatever. I mean, they work for they're not the highest body in the government. They just work for the people above them. So
Right.
Johnny said the FAA should pay Mike for the headlines.
well, they should have one. He goes to court or whatever. They should find him guilty and charge him $1.
I was talking about you earlier, Curtis, when I was talking about how that if you're actually doing a recreational flight and you happen to film something newsworthy, that you're actually allowed to sell it to the news media immediately because it's the news media. Anyway, hey, what's up, Mike? Glad to see you. What's up, Herman? Good to see you as well.
And you heard that poor Michael Wright had what is a baseball-sized hail down there in Texas. It got him pretty good. Brian, have you seen any of that large hail?
Oh yeah, we've been having all kinds of fun here.
Wow,
Yeah,
that large hail's not too good for drones in the air, huh?
it's got me questioning what the hell is going on.
Wait a minute. What? Because Curtis is saying, isn't it? Mikey, when Mikey comes on and tells us, it's kind of when you tell YouTube everywhere and us for lack of better subject matter for live streams on drones. Mikey's great cannon
of course,
fodder.
I totally agree with it, but I'm not saying anything here that Mikey did not say live on Ken Dono's
Yeah.
show. I'm only repeating his words that
Well,
he put
Mikey
out
was
there
just
in
on
public.
last
I would
night.
never say anything Mikey said privately to me, and repeat it here. I'm just repeating his own words on YouTube.
Well, Mikey was on last night talking about how a lot of similar shit had gone on, like Bruce being punished as opposed to
Yeah.
Mikey being punished, and how similar it was between the two of them. And,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Anytime I quote Mikey on something he said live on YouTube, it's not anything
oh,
personal.
well, no, I don't think he's meaning that we're nobody's thinking we're stepping on anybody's toes.
Yeah.
I started the subject off when I was asking what the recreational pilot did a way to lose certain privileges that seem to just have been taken away for.
Bill, you'll never get that answer from him.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and everybody seems to just dance around it. I'm like, to me, it's just wait a minute, a money grab. Hey, what's up? Glad to see you, Tom. Hey, Caleb here. Go
Hello,
ahead.
Tom.
Randy hit it on the nail about not having a lobbyist. I mean, if you really want to know, it comes back to commercial drone delivery. They want the skies clear. They don't want us up there screwing shit up.
Well, like Ron said, where the hell is it?
It's in Dallas right now. I got a buddy of mine. He's working for Walmart, and he's up there almost every day, running those packages.
Wow. Kicking UPS in the balls, huh?
Yeah. Well, in New Jersey, the problem is if somebody saw a drone dropping something off in somebody's backyard, it may get stolen before the person recovers it.
Oh, I was not. I thought I made it clear that I I was just making a joke out of blaming Mackey.
Yeah.
I was just trying to say I couldn't find a logical example as to why.
We're more on Mikey's side here than we are the FAA.
Because we think it's bullshit that they combined FAA regs and Philadelphia City regs and found a way to take his shit away. So I was like, Ugh. Anyway.
So, I mean, like, for instance, if you had a whole bunch of speeding tickets, would they take your car away?
Yeah.
It depends on
Depends on how much the fines were, yeah.
not the first one, but if you do it repetitively, they're going to take your license and force you off the road.
Right, but I haven't heard them like taking your cars away.
They impound it if they come and get you on a suspended license. You can't pay to get it out. They auction it off. They do. That's what happens, man.
I hope they don't auction Mikey's drones off.
They're going to use them for their own for themselves.
They're going to give them to all the local.
Hey, they can't because they're a government agency. They're not allowed to use Chinese drones now.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
That's true.
It would be cool. They just have to use all Mikey's American-made drones.
Oh,
which amounts to zero.
Yeah.
So, do we want to go into my favorite Drone Karen? What is it? Elise Stefanik.
Oh, our favorite upstate New York politician.
Yes.
And the woman that likes tariffs.
Well, it's not just tariffs. She's finding a way. It's like squeezing the last little bit of toothpaste out of the tube. You know, it's like they found a way to bleed as much possible DJI. That's like we were talking about that too before we went live, about how she's got to be the biggest drone Karen on the planet because she has taken the what was it? Let's begin with countering CCP Drone Act into Drones for First Responders Act.
Yeah, she got a nice title that sounds like it's legit.
It sounds like it's all juicy now and going to be good for the publicity and the politicians. Then they
it sounds better to say that when you're politicking than the other. The
whole point is and it's like another thing we were talking about, and it was before you got in here, Ron. We were talking about how what do they expect DJI to do? It's like, okay, you're going to push us out of your country, and in the meantime, you're going to take all these tariffs and stuff off the money, and you're going to use it to embellish and make the U.S. drone industry flourish. And so what's DJI going to do? Just go, okay, we're going to take a time out for 10 years while you catch up.
Yeah.
So we're going to be indefinitely behind no matter how much money we spend. So, I mean, I'm serious. If y'all would really want to do something, I don't understand why. If they show me how bad it is and what it's sending over there, I would, and show me to where I understand, because I'm like, I want to understand where all this money is going to, because I love flying drones. We all love flying drones, right? We do. So I would like
affordable drones, not drones with a 30% tariff on them.
Well, I mean, the whole point is eventually to force us to stop buying them and not have them at all.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm sorry I'm not keeping up with the chat. I'm gonna try to push it back over to them in just a second, and I will get back over
Bill,
here.
Do you think somebody Stefanik has any idea what kind of shape the American drone industry is? I mean, I know there are American companies that make fine enterprise drones, probably pricey ones. But as far as consumer drones, as far as we know, there's 0 American companies making consumer camera drones. Do you think she has any idea that the number is 0 right now? And how, like you pointed out earlier, how can you go from nothing to DJI level in 5 years?
Well, and like I said, in the meantime, what do they think? DJI's just going to sit back and go, okay, we'll wait. Yeah. We'll wait, man.
We'll drink lemonade for 10 years, and
and we'll give you 10 years, and then if you, it's like they're not going to play that game, man. They're going to, the minute we kick them out the door, they're going to drop the hammer.
Well, and two, how many? So what? So they get DJI banned or tariffed or whatever, and all these white label.
Y'all keep talking. I'm going to get back to
whatever, and we still have DJI drones just called something else. And they're made in Malaysia. How's that going to help anything?
It's not. I'm just wondering.
Hey, Phantom 101, look, I wore the wrong T-shirt last week. I got it right this week.
There you go. Yeah, but then this, because see, this is the thing. I've been talking about, me and Koopy been talking about this for like 6 years now. No, I take that back. It was for 3 years, everything was hunky dory, and it was about the end of the third year that I started preaching the demise of the hobby. And then John loves to make fun of me, making fun of it, But anyway,
I want to know why can't an American company take a DJI drone and reverse engineer it like they would do with any other piece of technology that they would recover from a foreign country? I
Yeah.
mean, how hard could it be?
Randy, my only guess to your question is that they've done it, of course, but they figured out they can't make the same drone at that price or less. They even if they know how to do it, they can't do it affordably.
It's going to come
Right.
down to that chips inside of it.
Yeah,
yeah,
parts and everything.
I think they're going to say that we can't have any Chinese products, any Chinese tech in this stuff. Is what I'm afraid of.
Well,
God,
go
I'm
ahead
going to
and
miss
take
the
all the
domain.
Chinese smartphones away from all the politicians today. Then just go grab them out of their hands today and give them American-made cell phones,
No
smartphones.
more egg foo young. I mean, come on.
Yeah, are
No
they
more
going to close my Chinese? Bill, don't tell me they're going to close my favorite Chinese restaurant down the street.
Well, and fortune cookies aren't even Chinese.
Just as I've
What
got
about my
Reese's
egg rolls?
monosodium glutamate.
Yeah, don't take my egg rolls away
Oh
from
God, don't my! I can hear my doctor tomorrow giving me hell about my triglycerides.
me.
She's gonna say you can't drink whole milk anymore. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
I drink a 2%, Bill.
Well, my problem, I'm drinking low fat
Yeah.
chocolate milk. So she's gonna give me
Yeah,
hell,
and
man.
you're having Diet Mountain Dews at night.
Well, the thing about it is it's just my triglycerides that are really out of whack. Everything else is pretty much okay.
Mine get a little wacky too, Bill. Don't feel bad.
Squirrel.
Yeah, triglyceride therapy here tonight.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Back to what Tom said. The current tariffs are already being squandered. No confidence in extra tariffs being used responsibly. Setting security. Yeah. It's just like he said. It's gonna what was it Herman said a minute ago? Who's gonna pay? It's not gonna be that. Who's gonna build her a house with the money from these tariffs? That's what they're doing. It seems
Yeah.
like. Let's see what's it will make her tons of money. She'll get paid by Skydia.
Yeah, Bill, she won't be a politician much longer. She'll just be on some yacht someplace, living the good life.
All right,
No,
I'm
she'll be
gonna scroll on up here and get up here to the front now.
Brian will see her down in Galveston on the beach.
Yeah, she's going to be a consultant.
Yeah, and get extremely high consulting fees.
Well, okay, but it's got to be a stepping stone. I mean, how in the hell? What when they get done and they squeeze DJI out? What's the next sector they're going to have to squeeze for money? Think about it. It's going to be somewhere in the tech industry. It's going to have to be something that's going to make enough money for them to be happy
And
with.
they can't touch smartphones because their constituents would be a revolution in this country.
There's no guarantee that they're not going to try, depending upon how things go.
Yeah, but even they use the smartphones. All the way up to the president uses the
How
smartphone.
many of these companies and excuse me agencies used to use, and some of them, as you pointed out last week, are saying to hell with you. This is the best tech, and continuing to use DJI technology.
Yeah, yeah,
So
like some of the police and fire.
it's like
They just didn't listen to the new rules.
the amount of crap we send to China is so we send them a bunch of garbage. That's true. He does work down there.
Bill, well, let's go back to the '60s and '70s when everything was made in the U.S. The only
No,
time you ever
everything
got
was
anything
made in
made in China,
Japan
you went
then.
to the cheap dollar store and you saw that "Made in China" sticker on the bottom. That's the only time anything was made in China.
Wow, that's a good price. So what is that, like 900 here for the? Is that as a Flymore?
Hmm.
Flymore kit, yeah. I think
Refurbished.
yeah, still though, that's what
Now, is
seven
that
hundred
the
eighty-five pounds.
tariff on, Mark?
No, that's over there. That's not here.
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
That's not here.
yeah.
I don't even like Chinese food. Mexican's the way to go. I like some Chinese food. Anyway, we're going really, really squirrel. Okay. The Avata update that everybody was waiting for finally came. Right?
And we're
Right?
all blown away.
Yeah. Ron,
No.
did you update your Air 3?
Well, I did not. I went for the Avata 2 first, Randy, and I haven't. I just did it a couple hours for the show. I took it down to the beach. Put it in 100 frames per second. Put it in D-Log and tried the new. You can have that
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 was
that
so
what do you call it?
mean.
Like kind of that LUT, so the goggles don't look all washed out or whatever, and that worked perfectly. I haven't reviewed the footage of the 100 frames per second. I hope it looks good. I'll let you know next time I'm talking to you.
Yeah, everybody said it was really good. That it was
Yeah, I'm
good for slow
excited to
mo.
try that out. The 100 frames per second.
And Herman's pointing out to you here, Ron, we had a manufacturing ecosystem back then.
We did, and almost everybody everybody's parents I knew back then, they worked at some big company like steel company or GE.
See,
They all made good money. They
Dre
all had
sees
big
what I'm
benefits.
saying. Dre sees what I'm saying. Drones are low hanging fruit to go after.
Yep, yep.
Once this
They're low
happens,
hanging, and
anything.
smartphones are at the top of the food chain.
It's not guaranteed though. It's not if they get them if they manage to pull these off the bottom of the tree, they can just start climbing on up, and it's going to be a hell of a lot easier once they get these pulled off, and say, "Oh, look, we got rid of those bad Chinese drones,"
But
and then
with cell
what?
phones, there's a lot more cell phone users than there are drone flyers, so it
Oh,
would be a
not
lot
even,
harder.
yeah, not even close or whatever.
But
Everybody carries a smartphone. One in
Right.
one in one in I don't know, 10,000 people have a drone.
Yeah,
but to
you try to get rid
hear
of people's phones, you're gonna have mutiny.
Oh, they're gonna be wild, going wild in the streets.
Yeah, to say the
It's gonna be
least.
a revolution.
well, but yeah, but from her standpoint, all Chinese drones bad, So get them out of the sky now.
Believe me, Bill, they come in some neighborhoods and try to take people's smartphones. They'll get shot.
Yeah, Johnny.
He'll know from how much
Am
of
I,
a
am
tip
I
you
lying,
give him.
Randy?
Nah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody was happy. Everybody was happy with the update.
Yeah,
We
no,
happy.
I didn't mess around all with the I still have my Avata one. I'm gonna sell it, but I didn't mess around with updating all that gear or whatever because I don't, like I don't, I don't want to use the older controller and goggles with the Avata 2. I have no use for that. But some people would. But if put it this way now, Bill.
Everybody got Barkley's
Yeah,
joke
if
here.
you bought the Avata 2 now, you can buy Avata 2 when they're available for $489. So now if you have the Avata 1, you could buy the Avata 2 and get your goggles Integra or goggles 2 and Motion 2 to work with the Avata 2 now. So that's great if you held off and haven't bought an Avata 2 now
Yeah.
because you can do that. But if you already have the Avata 2, the full kit or whatever,
Little,
this update doesn't do
little,
anything for
little Saturday Night
nobody
Live
knows
action
you.
here. You
Right.
see this, Ron?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A little Saturday Night Live action going on.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, let's see if we scroll up here. But okay, but like y'all are pointing out, there's millions and millions and millions, and you've said this before, of cell phone users, and cell phones can do millions and millions and millions of different things, as compared to a drone, which is under attack. And Dre was pointing out, it's low hanging fruit, and we all know that the way she's worded this new bill, it's going to get much more traction than it has any other time before. Because the minute you walk through the door to a committee meeting and you say, let's all pull out the paper and read over the, what was it, Drones for First Responders Act, everybody's going to be, oh, first,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
first,
that's
that's
good.
all.
Yeah, I like that. That
Page
sounds
one,
good.
get rid of Chinese drones and pay for American technology by tariffing Chinese products. Hell yeah, page
Yeah,
two.
that sounds great.
Each year will go up incrementally by 5% until we choke them out of the fucking sky. Page three. I
And
mean,
anybody that doesn't have a drone, they don't care or whatever. Get those drone users. They all they do is spy on people.
Yeah, that's like
well,
90% of people in Congress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, and
Because
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, we've got that one area. And he was talking about this here last week, Herman and Lawrence. Herman more so than Lawrence was talking about how we don't, like, basically everything that DJI needs to build a drone is all housed in one building. Like they're
Yeah.
building one part here, they're building another part here, they're building another part here, and then down here they're a final assembly. So
Just like
if
a just
some
like a car just like a car manufacturing plant,
yes, exactly, and it's just everything is right there in house.
like
You
GM
know,
and Ford. Yeah, yeah.
it's like an FPV pilot. It's like an FPV pilot and his desk. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, I got ESCs over here, I got motors over here, I got solder over
If
here.
I don't have them, I'll just print them out on my printer.
Well, not so much that, but I'm just trying to say that they've got so much bulk and
Yeah.
so much of this stuff 1/1.3, one
Yeah,
over
they
one
got their own
thirty.
little manufacturing plant.
We got boatloads of those sensors in the box. So it's just they got all this stuff and they can prepare it and build it right there in house at home, and then they can fix whatever issues there are on the line almost instantaneously because they can run a little bit through and then check it. Because like that's what he was pointing out about how everything's done in house and all their technology comes from what is it? Shenzhen or whatever that
Yeah.
one province, and it's all just for their tech.
All
Like
that is a manufacturing town. People thought that was just a little town before they put up all this manufacturing.
smartphone companies, all are American anyway. The same thing.
Yeah, because the corporate office is sitting in America, they don't count as Chinese.
Yeah, right.
Well, Bill, let me ask you this. Okay, when the American companies do start making the American drones, can they use any parts from China, or do all the parts have to come from the U.S. also?
Probably have some kind of tariff on them, wouldn't you think?
Darn tariffs again.
I mean, I don't know. They banned Hanoi, but most didn't carry here.
Well, because most Huawei didn't make many
Huawei,
goods
yeah.
over. They made a bunch of routers and equipment that the common person doesn't know or use or whatever.
Well, they had plenty of
nobody had a
other
Huawei phone over here.
right. They had plenty of other options to choose from that were actually better than.
Exactly. I mean, Bill, drones, like Randy pointed out, drones are a unique situation. They're the only thing that we don't have another option in.
Like I said, what's DJI going to just sit by and okay, we'll take a time out for 10 years.
Well, why can't DJI do the same thing that Honda and Toyota did when they tried to tariff them back in the 70s, 80s? Just build a plant over here.
Have they not been
Probably
trying
what
to
they
do
wanted
that
to do.
forever? I'm sorry, go ahead, Brian.
No, I said that's probably what they want them to do.
Yeah.
Spread the
And
wealth.
once Toyota and Honda built plants over here, they all that tariff talk
China
went
ain't
away or
Japan,
whatever. They
though.
had no more trouble.
China's
Yeah,
not Japan, though.
Before they lose the U.S. market completely, they'll. I can guarantee you they'll do something like that.
Or like with Randy Warnes, right?
What, the one man company?
Right, license their tech.
Yeah, because we know now that literally he takes his cues from DJI,
Right.
right? Didn't they just figure that out like a week ago?
Right.
I think
Don't
it was-
tell Miss Stefanik that though.
I think it wasn't it. I think Mike sent me the letter coming from. I think where was it? Maybe it was the new something. But anyway, I didn't have enough. I think I'd used up my article views or whatever.
You ran out of your views. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was basically saying that Randall was taking his cues from DJI. They would say when, how, what the platform was going to be like, how it was going to come out, everything. So basically, he was just a figurehead.
He's a puppet.
Is basically what I'm getting out of it. A wealthy puppet, to say the
Yeah.
least.
Well, I
That's the
heard
kind of puppet I want to be. The
Yeah, no doubt.
wealthy puppet.
he's the only employee of Anzo that I've
Right.
heard.
So the payroll guy's got an easy time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember TikTok is on the chopping block.
Yeah, well, they already did that. It's just a matter of they have a certain amount of time to either sell themselves to an American company or cease to be able to broadcast or whatever you call it in the U.S.
They'll
Well,
sell
so-
it to a shell company.
Maybe this is the first step to DJI moving over here. Is
I hope
that
so.
that thing that you're doing with Randall?
Yeah, well, actually, he's only doing one enterprise drone. It's Cohita that has the consumer drones. They have an
Cohita?
Air clone and a Mini 2 clone.
I think they're
Cohita?
testing. They're testing the waters.
Right.
Oh, they want the tech. So you think that's? Oh yeah, that's what Mike's saying. Mike didn't use it. Were you the one that sent that article to me about Randall?
Yeah,
I was
Mike
thinking.
was. Mike did send it. Yeah,
Okay.
Mike sent it.
Okay.
Yeah, but as Randy pointed out earlier, I mean, they can take apart all DJI drones. I mean, they had the tech as far as they understand the tech or whatever already. I mean, they know how it works and what parts are in there. It's just a matter of they can't build it affordably.
Well,
Right.
here. Okay, Caleb's saying this. But like I said, I don't see how we're going to be able to pull them down so that we can compete. Like they'll just stop selling the drones over here and continue to evolve, and we'll just be that much further behind while all the other countries in the world use the better tech,
Yeah,
and we look like
or
fools.
we only let them sell the Mini 4K without a tariff. So their least advanced drone is the only drone that can be sold here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The best American drone is the FPV drone still built by anyone. Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about. It's basically the way that DJI builds their stuff is it's done in house, and everything's done in that one particular building. Like if they're building all the Air 3s, it's going to be all in the Air 3 building. They're going to do Mavic 3 Pros over here in this building, and it's going to have all the camera set up. They may have one building that does Mavic bodies, and then half of those will go to Mavic Pros, and half of them will go to Classics or something like that. And then you're going to have your experimental area that's doing pretty much probably everything. But again, a lot of these parts that are in the basic, I don't know, build of the drone and running it, I'm going to assume are all the same. So probably the basic hardware that runs an Air 3 is the same stuff. It's maybe updated because it's the newest drone. That same kind of basic hardware that runs the Mavic 3 or the Air 4 or excuse me, the Mavic
Yeah,
Mini
a lot
4
of parts are
Pro.
shared. A lot of parts of technology are shared,
Yeah.
just like American car companies.
Right. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But
What makes
what
these
was it?
drones work?
Okay, so since we're
Bill,
what
we're not done. What makes these drones work?
what do you mean batteries?
No. All y'all are talking parts and hardware, and this is made here and this is made there.
Yeah,
There's one
I get what
thing.
you're going, Brian.
There's one thing that makes these drones work that
They're
can
a
fix all
software
that stuff.
company. Yeah,
Exactly.
they're a software company.
Yeah. You get DJI to agree to an American software company building something similar to the Fly app. This problem could go away tomorrow, because then what's her name has no basis for any of her rants about what this drone can and cannot do. Because everything right now is China based, and when you have the software China based, that's the biggest thing.
Right.
Because this right here, it's a camera, it's a tool. It is nothing without the software behind it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So, Brian, you're saying if they would make what do you call it, like an open format? I can't get the right words.
It,
Open
it,
source?
If they had open
yeah.
source where an
No,
American company could
they
apply
wouldn't
their
even need to do
software
that.
tool or whatever, that would take Stefanik's
Okay, no.
argument away.
The problem with open source is now you're giving away copyrighted information.
Right.
So we've been on China's ass for years about you're stealing our copyright stuff.
Oh
So the
yeah.
way to get around
Oh
that is
whoa!
to deal with them.
Check this out.
Saw that.
Wow. Wow.
Oh no. Wow.
Well, the sad thing is it happens too much here. Too much. And
Crimes going up in Seattle.
it's not just it's in bad where I live here in Everett too. We just literally like at 6 o'clock we stop going out. We stop going out. We just don't. Like it's like a special event maybe because we got crazy people that are just driving up and down I-5 shooting people. Road rage shit. They think somebody cut them off or something like that. It's crazy out here anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, they banned Huawei because of real security flaws. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. And John's saying FPV parts will become dramatically affected by the tariffs because the prices of the bind and fly drones will spike up. They're already expensive. Less components will be made. Oh, wow. Yes, it's going to hit everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've really gotten into the bind and fly too stuff. I love that stuff now.
Yeah, I
Randall
agree.
pays the
Binding
cost
flies
of
are the way to go.
Don't
Like,
they run different software? Don't those drones run different software?
No.
no, I
The
mean,
the ones at Randall's, the Asus or whatever, I thought it was different software.
Yeah. In fact, he partnered up with one of those like mapping app companies or whatever
So
to make
those
the
are
software
actually,
for him.
even though they're DJI hardware, technically with the different software,
Yeah,
it's
Bill, I can no expert in this, but I think it's the same thing. Like what do you call like those apps? Like they're open. It's like it runs on top of the DJI app or whatever. It's like Lynchy or something like that. It just runs on top. The DJI app's still there underneath.
whoa, man, this is twisted. Hang on, I'm not
Yeah,
leaving. Curtis sent me a link. Hang on a sec.
to the murder.
We're more bad people. Hang on, I'm gonna share the. Let me share here.
Well, you're sharing that. I want to ask Randy. Were you when you were chasing that boat this weekend? Were you flying manual?
Yes. Manual mode.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
The
northeast?
sport. Yep. Northeast. The
Yeah,
Northeast River.
yeah.
Sport mode just isn't quite fast enough to chase boats.
That's why I figured you were moving too fast to be in sport. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, did y'all see that? It's
Yeah. Pop it up again one more time, Bill.
so boat operator arrested after woman falls into Lake Washington.
Looks like the
Still searching
Harvard.
for the woman. So he's gonna go. They're gonna go use an ROV.
Okay.
Wow,
Not saying murder in his article yet. I guess that's why they have to find the body before they could.
that's
Do anything
crazy.
like that.
But that's the kind of crap that's going on
Hmm.
out
But,
here. It's
Yeah,
just
so
it's
that
a
must have been
crazy
that
world
must,
out there, Bill.
Yep.
that must have been an assisted fall.
Yeah, yeah,
It makes it sound like she just fell overboard.
yeah. I guess she didn't have a life vest or anything on.
Right.
Okay, so wait a minute. I'm trying to catch up. I don't want to. Okay, okay, yeah. So Herman's saying yes that it met security regs. So technically, it's running different software. So it would be allowable under the new one because it's technically not a DJI.
Okay. Thank you, Herman.
Under that run.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
then Brian, you said something, and John's agreeing with you.
well,
IP
they talk
theft
about
is rampant.
DJI
Oh yeah.
will give out the SDK file so that you can work with new software. If DJI wants to work in this country, that may be what they'll have to do.
Oh, so yeah, so there's that's what I'm saying. It's bull crap. There's nothing. Yeah, so it's just all the same. Okay, we don't have that here, and it's crazy out here. Maybe they got Anzu Aloft. Oh yeah, that's right. Aloft was in that
Yeah,
software
Loft. Yeah,
development.
they use the Loft software from
Right.
that company Loft. Yeah, they developed the software, I guess, in
So
partnership.
okay, explain. I don't understand. What is SDK as opposed to basic
The
software?
software from the core or whatever. Yeah, that's hard. An SDK is just something that allows you to run like almost a skin on top of the
Is
real
is
app or
is the
whatever.
SDK basically like a machine language, and then
Nah, the machine
It's a
language is
program.
probably the real guts of the software or whatever. An SDK is just kind of like a skin on top of the
so
real software.
technically, right. So technically, so an SDK is a skin. I thought an SDK was
Mike's got
the
it. Software
bedrock.
development kit.
Yeah, yeah. And you do, and that's when the maker of say DJI in this case,
Right, that's
would
the
allow
base.
would allow a developer kit.
That's the core. That's the
Yeah.
core of the program itself. The basic part of the program telling you what switches are turned on and what switches are turned off so that you can figure out where data is going to, if and how and where. And so that's the reason we can't definitively prove that data is being sent somewhere. Although we suspect it, is what I'm assuming they're saying.
Right. Of
I
course,
could be completely wrong.
It's already been proven you can completely turn all
Yeah,
your
see, there we go.
communication off on DJI
Yeah,
drones. So it's not no
that's what I
doubt.
was thinking it was. John saying it's not a skin; it allows direct function calls to the drone. So what?
Yeah,
Somebody want to say
but
something?
John, in most cases though, when I played with Lychee, you still had to have the DJI app on your phone. You could not have a copy of the DJI app on your phone to run Lychee.
Anyway, so
Anyways, yeah.
basically, if is the Anzu drones
I
are they
believe they only
running?
have one model. They have I think the
I
Mavic,
get
whatever
that,
they
but
call
is
it, the
it
Mavic
running a
3
DJI
Enterprise. That's the only
SDK
drone
or
they have so far.
is it running a different? Is the Aloft software on top of the DJI SDK? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, we I don't think we have the answer to that here. Maybe somebody in the chat does.
Mike might, because I remember he could read that article. Blah, 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 blah. Is the
The
controlled by the?
Anzu Raptor.
Yes. It's a nice sounding name.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Sure
definitely
looks
a
okay.
cool
like a
name.
Mavic 3 to me.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, so
yeah.
what Mike's saying is they can't. Yeah, the SDK can't change everything.
I don't understand what he's saying. In
Yeah,
app like Litchi's
sometimes you have in
impressive.
different versions of Litchi over the years, you had to actually take the drone off in the DJI app and then go over to Litchi. I mean, it's changes over the years.
Wait a minute. Is
Uh,
this thing not out yet?
what the
I can't
Anzu?
answer that,
Yeah.
Brian. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
I
know.
just hit
It's been
get.
hyped up for about 2 months now, but I don't know if you can actually buy it yet.
No, I just hit get, and it wants me. It wants my whole uh, personal stuff, name and address, and I.
Well, usually that's what it's required if
That
you're
right
trying
there
to buy an
tells me it's over
enterprise
10
drone. They
grand.
See,
usually
this
require
is
all the
okay.
information to buy an enterprise drone.
Yeah. So basically, what it, like we're talking about is a toolkit. So and the APIs are kind of like different tools that are in your toolbox. So, but the APIs are within the SDK. So there could be an API. What I'm assuming is where we don't have access to the SDK. There could be like an API embedded in there that we don't know about that they're thinking
Yeah,
is
possibly.
sending data back to China.
Possibly.
Is that what we're talking about? Raptor and Raptor T in June, Dale
Well,
is saying.
well, I mean, of course, they guaranteed that a loft software is not doing that.
And then Randall's saying they're not going to sell Randall's drone to anybody, but it's going to be a enterprise drone,
Right,
which makes
exactly.
sense.
He only has that one right now, that Mavic 3
Well,
Enterprise.
considering that all those agencies are having to get rid of their DJI products, pretty damn good idea,
Yeah,
wouldn't you
yeah.
think?
Brian's
Okay,
got
Brian,
something he wants to share here.
what we
There
got?
it
Look,
is.
look tell me this
The
thing.
green drone and
Tell me
controller.
this thing is not a rip. Look at the controller, even.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's a RC Pro.
Yeah. Well, what gets me is look at the specs.
Well, it's not a
4/3
rip,
CMOS.
man.
Yeah, they
It's
sound awful familiar, Brian.
because Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike was talking earlier about them using it. So it's just a pro. It's just an enterprise drone.
What white label DJI drone?
That's what they're doing.
So, but that's what I'm
Just
saying.
don't tell Miss Stefanik about it, Brian.
Well, it's not just that, man. It's the market is gone, and they're gonna and the whole point is none of these agencies are gonna be able to bitch anymore. They're gonna say, "Here's your replacement." Yeah, it's not a ripoff. It's licensed. DJI is giving him the right to do this.
Right.
But
right.
that's what I'm saying. Did I miss it somewhere? Right. He's saying it's licensed hardware, but is it an SDK built by Aloft, or is it DJI SDK with an Aloft API?
Well, it's a question for Dale there. Dale, what's the answer?
It's
Do you
white
have the
labeled, but
answer?
software replaced. Well, but the basic, can it still communicate with DJI? Especially since Mike already said earlier that it's DJI who's providing the drones to him. So they're DJI drones. They need to make them green and bring back John Deere.
Yes.
I'd buy a John Deere drone.
A little
I
bit of
would.
yellow trim.
Yes, exactly. That big old
Dale
green.
said the software was replaced.
Okay, so everything's by Aloft. We hope.
SDA kit and all is by Aloft.
Okay. There we go. Then that's
So
it.
Doesn't that
there's
beg the
no
question,
DJI
who owns the
software on
loft?
that drone, Bill.
What did you say,
There's
Brian?
no DJI software in that drone, just
Right. Well,
hardware.
Brian was
I
saying
said,
something.
doesn't that beg the question, who owns a loft?
Yeah, is it Chinese owned, Brian?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, come on,
I don't know.
because that's the game we're playing now. Who owns what company and where? What nationality are you from?
So couldn't buy DJI drone with grant monies.
You had to backdoor it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's a market there for these drones. So think of how many of them that actually listened. Oh yeah, and Specta. Is that the one that you were talking? The other company that's got the knockoffs.
Yeah, Spectre, that's the one.
Yeah.
What was the company, Ron?
Well, there's Cohita's out there too.
Cohita.
Cohita, yeah, yeah.
Well, how do you spell Cohita?
Yeah, I don't know.
Cohita.
It's like Cogita or something.
Yeah.
Co what?
Gita.
Kogita.
My Chinese spelling is not
Like
too
Ziddy
good,
the
Randy.
Gojira.
It's a A or O at the end. I'm not sure.
Let's see. Cogito.
You got anything, Bill?
I see something that says Cogito Innovations.
Uh-oh. Well,
Yeah.
And they're also talking about the Spectre Air. Hang on.
They may be the same company.
Cogito.
Cohita could be the company that manufactures the Spectre.
This is not it. Cogita. Nope. Cohita. I'll try Cohita drone. Products. Maybe that would help. No, this is not the same thing. Tethered drones. I don't know. Is anybody? Somebody in the chat.
CogitoText.com.
What is it? Cogito. What?
Cogito-text.com.
I got Fritos.
Text. Wait a minute. Okay. Spectre official. But it's still Chinese. Oh no, Hong Kong. Hong Kong-based startup company on innovative products. Here, let me go ahead and
Well,
share
did
this.
mainland China just take over Hong Kong in the last year or two?
Supposedly.
They've had Hong Kong for years now.
But
Yeah,
remember,
Hong Kong,
they
China.
really took it over just recently. Remember, they had a big kind of like revolt over there.
Oh yeah,
Okay, hang on.
they didn't bring in the tanks though.
What's U.S. owned? I missed something. Something's U.S. owned. Anzu is screwed. Obviously. Well, it's not the same act because they've renamed it to that. Drones for First Responders Act is what the CCP Drone Act is now. Here's
Wait a minute,
Spectre.
Anzu. I'm looking at it here. Anzu is based out of Austin, Texas.
And there's the Air 3, the Spectre Air right there. And it's Hong Kong. And it's out of what?
It doesn't get more American than that, does it, Brian?
No.
Yeah, Brian, they have a, what do you call it? Like it's a mailbox.
Oh, Maryland.
It's a,
Hong Kong is
mailbox
China.
in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, but then again, Autel is based at somewhere here in the country too, and that's not going to help them any.
Spectre is built in Malaysia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, right. That's how they get around it. The Malaysia thing. They may have an office in Hong Kong, but they're built in Malaysia.
But Hong Kong, wait a minute. So it's not giving you all this view. Hang on. I need to get past this. I have to come back over here and reshare.
Yeah, that in Austin, that office, what that is, that's an empty space at a mall where two people in there. That's the that's the headquarters in Austin.
So actually, this is the actual Amazon page.
Okay, for the Spectre.
So the Cohita Tech brings you straight to
doesn't
the.
make the Spectre.
Well, so what was he said? So they said it's made in Malaysia.
Right.
So that's how they got around that part of it.
Right. Right.
Obviously, it's the Air 3. So, but it's still priced pretty damn high.
Right, but of course, if it doesn't get 30% tariff, it's going to be priced real good.
Right. Yeah, but let's see. Let's hit the buy now and see what it
Yeah,
brings
but you
up.
can only get one battery for it, and they have no service, so you're pretty screwed.
Well, good thing you get good battery life on that drone, Randy.
Yeah, right.
$1,200 for the drone, one battery, and a
Bill, it's actually
controller.
cheaper because you get the DJRC2 with it, not the standard thing. So it's
Wait a
actually
minute.
cheaper than the
Is
Air
that the,
3.
the DJI Specta RC2?
That's a good point, Ron. You can't even buy the Air 3 with one battery and the RC2. You got to get the whole
Yeah,
kit.
right. So this is cheaper. Randy, just buy 3 of these Spectre drones, then you have 3 batteries.
Yeah, right.
So you can't buy any extra batteries?
And the Air 3 battery doesn't work in it.
Yep.
Man, somebody blew up their car out here.
No, you can't buy any batteries for that.
Huh. That's crazy.
And if you
Unless you
break it,
unless you
you're
unless you
free.
take a trip to Malaysia.
Yeah, right.
Well, so I wonder if there's no way that an Air 3 battery would work,
It
even
might.
though that it's the exact same battery.
It'll fit physically, but the software won't allow it to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably not.
Right.
yeah. You can even use your DJI charger to charge the battery up.
That's just so crazy. And there's no but such bullshit. There's no way to get more batteries.
Not today.
Wait a minute. I
When
wonder
the 30% tariff comes in, the batteries will be available.
if
Yeah.
All right, we'll stop sharing that.
Yeah.
Remove some thing. There we go.
Hey, Bill, another subject real fast. I'm going to go to Brian. Were you able to attend that Houston drone meetup over the weekend? I saw
Oh yeah.
Squirrel Lee was out there.
Yep. He parked himself on the other side of the parking lot because of all the interference you get, the RF stuff from the Avatas.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
he
he
likes to
said there
buy.
was a lot of.
Yeah, so he was a good ways away from us. So I flew my Avata over to him to say hi.
Did you have a pretty good turnout?
All total, they said it was around
In your box, Dale.
70 to 80 people
Wow.
over the course of 5 hours.
Yeah, that's a
You
lot
had
of
a little
people.
bit better weather than
Okay,
you
wait a
had back in
minute.
the spring
No,
or whatever, winter.
No, that weather sucked. It was 97 degrees. The sky was awful. I've got a video
Oh,
sitting right here ready to go. It shows. I mean, I did a few minutes of people talking, and the rest of it is aerials. But
yeah.
it'll show. It's just not. It wasn't a really pretty night.
Okay.
So, but it is what it
What do
is.
you say? They turned the oven on?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
It's not. That was what Memorial Day weekend. You already had the first heat wave.
Yeah.
Well, they're
97 that
saying
day.
Tom said something earlier on their stream about it being 105 in Vegas.
Well, that's Vegas. You don't go out there in a day or whatever. But so about the same time you're having 97, you're having baseball size hail.
Look at this. Here we go. I like this. Drones for First Responders Act is an insulting title for this bullshit House resolution. Yes, it
Oh,
is.
Tom put it
Isn't that right?
bluntly.
I
Yep.
agree 100%.
Yeah, it
She's
had to be said, Tom.
She's the ultimate drone Karen. I'm telling you, we need to print T-shirts, and she'd be like,
She
"Why are
could
those people mad at me?"
should have at least named it American Drones for First Responders Act.
She just forgot that word. Left
or,
it on the mouth.
or American bullshit for that First Responders Will Never See Act.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope the first person needs a first responder. I shouldn't say this is mean. Is like her or whatever. And instead of a good DJI drone showing up, some cheap toy drone shows up to rescue her.
Yeah.
I don't want to insult some drone maker.
Oh, okay, that's not too horribly bad. You can breathe at least.
105.
Yeah, but you can breathe. It's not
Hey,
the humidity's
Bill,
not
can
that
I
high.
make a shameless plug announcement here? That Tom's in the chat here. Next Monday night, Bob Dempsey and Tom Dowling will be on Drone Nation, and they're going to discuss some of they pretty much have all the details wrapped up for the Vegas drone meetup, and they're going to kind of outline, what they have planned, and they're going to answer questions. So next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in going to Vegas to fly drones, tune in.
And they were talking about don't just think that, because you can't fly right down the middle of the strip like everybody wants to. There's a bunch of other places to go that you can fly and get scenic views and
They,
pretty
they said just a
sunsets.
few minutes off the strip or whatever is some of the most beautiful scenery you've ever seen.
Mm.
Red rocks and Dale's here.
What do they say? Better late than never.
Yeah.
Well, you've been
Better
working
late than
real hard
never.
to chat.
The best
You've been
Dale
working
ever.
real hard to chat on this lost software scandal here. Dale, do you use much of loft software for
Not. I mean, I use that for my Lance.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I use.
I use it for checking airspace and Lance approval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't run any enterprise software off of the loft, do you? Because a lot of people use it for mapping and so on, right, Dale?
Correct. I mean,
Yeah.
I just use the pilot stuff at this point, or
So,
use ECS sometimes.
so the Specta is legal or not legal? And how would you go about getting another battery, I wonder?
That one I don't know. I mean, it's like EXO, man. It's like
Ooh.
made in America, and it's really just a Hubsan rebrand, right?
Right.
Now,
So Spectre's made in Malaysia, but it's just a DJI rebrand.
it's probably. I'm hypothetically saying this here. I don't know anything. They probably got one factory there. They got all set up to do all these drones and make the hardware so that it's not made in China hardware.
But,
And then they license.
some of the parts probably still come from China, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts still inside it. So this won't ever be blue. It won't ever be NDAA compliant.
Oh, wow.
It's assembled in Malaysia.
Yeah.
No, it's manufactured there. They're making the I mean, okay, they ship some of the components there, but it's not like they're making the chipsets in China and then shipping them there. They're making the chips, the components, the individual pieces are going to Malaysia, but a lot of it's actually just being manufactured there. But yeah, like the Anzu stuff is basically a Mavic 3 Enterprise and a Mavic 3 Thermal, and they're licensed it, and they'll probably have some stuff to do with it, but it's not gonna, if it's going to blue or NDA compliant, it won't be that.
Wow.
I'm trying to
I'm
figure out
glad
which
you're okay.
I hope that Mike's insurance covers a lot of that.
Well, he said
No.
they're okay physically, but that kind of man.
Yes, I hope insurance
Let me
covers.
let me tell you
Brian,
something.
does insurance cover things like that in Texas?
No, that's what I was about to say. Insurance companies are backing out of here like crazy. Now
wow.
they've got it to where they're doing your deductible by a percentage of the value of your home. So to replace a roof, you ain't going to get it replaced after a storm like this without putting the money up front.
That's
And
I
how
seen on
much?
the
How
news.
much?
10 grand or more.
Shoot.
That's cheap out here, man. What? 16, 20 grand.
I seen on the
The,
news this morning that they had certain places had grapefruit size hail.
Wow.
That's
We are
pretty
getting
insane.
slammed here almost every other week with
Can you
weird.
imagine getting your car totaled by hail or whatever? I mean, we have hail in New Jersey, but I mean like little tiny hail.
Squirrel.
That's okay. It's a good one. I mean, there's a lot. All that storms are bad, and there's you got all the people out there flying for roof takeoffs. Using Droners IO or whatever it is.
And it's not Squirrel, Bill. I can't fly my drone in this shit. This is serious.
Oh. Okay, and I'm going to do this before I forget because I want everybody to remember. The streaming recommendation of the week. Civil War.
You
What's
mean
What's it on, Bill?
Oh, I got it off.
You don't mean the Avengers Civil War?
No.
With Captain America and all that.
I mean the new one that just came out with what's her name, Kirsten Dunst, and wow.
What channel is it on?
We got it on Vudu. We bought it, or
Vudu.
it's what is it, Fandango?
Okay.
But it's just
So this is a movie that just came off the theaters, or
yeah. And hey, Dune is great. Both parts are on Max right now. You can
that
watch
second
both of them.
Dune is so good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, and it's hard not to give anything away, but man, when he just goes off, he's like, rah! And then,
Oh yeah, at the end when he says hello, grandfather, and
yeah, and then the whole point is remember when you start the movie and it tells you about how they started the what is it, the Bene Gesserit,
yeah.
and then you find out who the first one was.
And how about when he even the Queen Mother, whatever, he even uses his power on her.
Oh well, yeah, but we need to stop now.
Yeah, we need to stop. Hey, Bill, and
HBO Max.
we talked about it a while back. I streamed The Beekeeper recently.
Oh
Oh,
wow,
that's
good
a good
movie.
movie.
That's a good
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah,
That's a good movie.
yeah.
My
So
favorite
what are we
part.
gonna do? What are we gonna do for drones? Like even John
Hey,
Tippy was
let
putting
Randy
out.
tell his favorite part.
Go ahead, go.
My favorite part is where he walks into the tech company and starts pouring gas right on everybody.
And he says, get the hell out, and the guy
Yeah.
starts mouthing off to him.
Or how about when even before he gets in there, he's outside and the security guards telling me they're going to count to three. Where he
1,
goes,
2,
1, 2, 3. I counted for you.
Yeah, and they said, what are you gonna do? He's like, I'm gonna burn this place down.
Yeah. Or how about the guy outside when he's calling his boss up after the building? They said this guy he burned to the ground. No, I mean literally he burned the whole building to the ground.
Yeah.
What
He's like,
show is this?
A movie called The Beekeeper
The
came out in the
Beekeeper.
winter with Jason. What's his name?
Statham.
Jason, what's his name?
Yeah.
Statham.
He's what?
Statham.
Jason Statham.
Yeah,
Statham. Yeah.
yeah. He was the the British Olympic swimmer.
Right.
That's how he
Way
started.
back.
Yep, from way back. Anyway, yeah, it's a good movie. It's kind of when you were talking about that, it reminds me of the scene in what is it, Kong and Godzilla: The New Empire, when those whatever they're kind of like wolves are chasing Kong, and then he gets over on the other side and he grabs hold of the dead leader and holds it up over his head and just rips it in half, and the other three look at each other and go, "Nah, we're out of here." And then Kong gets pissed off and starts and he goes and takes a shower. That's pretty cool. Have you seen that yet, Ron?
No. Can you rent that now, or you have to buy it?
I think you can rent it now.
You said you bought it because you had a whole bunch of people watching it or whatever.
Yeah, we had the family. Everybody watched it, so we had a
Yeah.
bunch of people that watched it.
Yeah.
And plus everybody got to watch what was the other big one that came out? Oh, the Ghostbusters.
How's
which
that
was-
new Ghostbusters?
The new Ghostbusters was really really good, but it wasn't your standard Ghostbusters. I don't want to say it to take anything away from anything. Hey Chris, good to see you. I had to scroll up and catch up with the chat. Chris Hope popped in here.
Chris
Johnny's
Hope.
still here. Glad to see all you folks. Glad to see all
Hope
you
Chris
folks.
Hope didn't get any of that hail out where he is,
Yeah, Chris Hope, did you get any damaging weather out your way?
because he's got a farm and everything. He's got a lot of property could be damaged.
Picked up. Oh wow,
Picked up a brand new mini
for $175.
Wow, it's a
Dang.
good deal.
Not
That's
bad
the
at
old
all.
week.
For
I'm feeling pretty good. We were asking what if you got any kind of weather down there. I wasn't. The reason the new Ghostbusters kind of
You like Kong better.
Yeah, I did. I like Kong better. I really did. Like the Godzilla and Kong was really cool, especially when they got the power glove. But anyway,
Yeah,
But,
Bill. The first Ghostbusters came out when I was still kind of a young man, so that's got a special place in my heart or whatever. It's going to be
well, this
hard to
one
misplace
it's
that.
obvious that they're passing the torch, and the Ghostbusters from now on aren't going to be so much comedy as they're seemingly going to be more technology based, and not so much maybe a line of humor here and there, but not just the continuous puns
Rod's
like were
got
going
his
on
review.
before. So anyway, do what now?
if nobody's getting slimed, it's just no good.
Yeah, it was. Well, I like upstairs when he blasts through him,
Yeah.
and then he goes and he just and
I've been
spits it out.
slimed.
And he doesn't say I've been slimed either. He just kind of spits it out and goes, "Yeah." But that's a good one when he just spits all of it out. That's pretty cool. But yeah, what did you think, Brian? It's not your typical. It kind of starts out like your typical Ghostbusters, and then it's like halfway through it switches and it goes really more of just
Honestly, Bill, I
what?
fell asleep on it, Bill.
Okay, I can see that. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Hey, Bill. Chris asked how you were feeling.
I'm feeling okay. That's what I said. We were more concerned about what kind of weather he had in Texas compared to
I believe
everybody
he's in
else.
East Texas.
So we
No,
don't know
he's
if
in
there
East
North
was
Texas
Texas.
covers a lot of ground. That's you too, Brian. You're East Texas, right?
Yeah,
well
but he's way north of me.
tornadoes aren't partial to what
I'm on
part
the
of Texas
coast,
they
more or
slap
less.
the shit out of.
And you know DeMarco Moore got a tornado came through Arkansas and messed his backyard up pretty good, and I think it destroyed his kid's little league field or
Oh
baseball field.
wow, man.
Yeah, it was a brand new field. He said.
Yeah, and the kids may not be able to play the rest of the season if they can't get the field. Chris is 90 miles from me.
No big hail, trees down
Mike's
everywhere,
up there
Oh
in North
boy.
Texas by Dallas or
big
Fort Worth.
winds.
Yeah,
It's
right
the
now it looks like
government.
east of
Well,
Houston is really bad.
yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers for everybody in East Texas or North Texas or any
Houston's
part of
been
Texas
really
that
bad
got
even
hit by
before
all
the
that
storms.
weather.
I do like that part in Ghostbusters when him and her are standing there, and she's talking to her, he goes, "Do you know why I like busting?" She goes, and she goes, "No, no, don't." And he goes, "Cause it makes me feel good." And he starts doing the lines from the song, and she's like, "Stop, just stop, stop." So anyway, but yeah, Ghostbusters to me, it seemed to me like they were trying to pass the torch to the kids, but it just didn't really. Like Brian said, it was easily put you to sleep because it was going. What the kids couldn't do the comedy really, so it just wasn't there. The zing, I guess. It was
Mm-hmm.
all zap zap bang bang bang. Bigger ghost trap, yay!
Yeah, it's
So
kind
You
of hard
kind
to.
of miss Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and those
I was just
guys.
getting ready to say that it's kind of hard to replace those guys.
Not crossing the streams.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
did
Don't cross the streams.
Yeah, and see, nothing like that. Nothing. And it was obvious there was no Ramus on it anymore. There
Oh
was
yeah,
no,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he helped come up with the original. Him and Aykroyd came up with the original one,
Yeah,
and
yeah, and he
there was
and what's his name was Rick Moranis was real funny in the first one, and Sigourney Weaver was even if she didn't do comedy, she was real good in the first one.
well, Rick Moranis retired to take care of his kids.
Oh, really?
That's the whole reason he quit. He just
Huh.
quit and took care of his kids.
Wow.
Hey, thank you for coming in.
Four
We've
states
been
aerial. What are the four states? Do we know?
we've been squirreling for quite a while. But what were we talking about before I went squirrel?
That's
The,
something to do with
the
drones.
hail in Texas.
We were talking about Angel. There's Angels.
Angel
Manufacturing.
They're at the first break.
from daughter's concert. Brian, when does all this crazy tornado and storm weather? When does that kind of go away in Texas? You got another
It,
couple more
it's
weeks,
it's
or
it shouldn't be here in the first place. We never get weather like this. This is really
really?
bizarre.
It's the government.
Well, I
Yeah,
was trying to remember what.
Yeah, it's
I
all
mean,
the
if it
government.
calms
I
down,
know
it
what I
should be
wanted to
sometime in
bring
late
up.
June.
I know what I wanted to bring up. The Air 3 rumors have dried up more than the wrinkles on my old face.
Air 3S or Air 4, you mean?
Air 4 rumors
Yeah,
have
the Air
dried up.
3 that's confirmed.
There's no Air 4 anything coming up.
No?
Because it's like everything just dried up. I was trying
Dried
to make
up.
this big joke about how old my face looked, and I totally blew it when I said 3, but it should have been 4. Anyway,
Oh, good. I'm not ready for the 4 anyways. I'm still enjoying
Angel,
the
did you
3.
see Angel came in and was talking? He had a
I
break,
agree, Ron.
Now there should be an Air 3S.
but
I don't think it'll be an Air 3S, but
okay. And Randy's predicting that the Air 4 is only going to have one sensor.
That's what
That's not gonna make me happy, Randy.
I agree. But I DJI is all about making money. If you want to keep the Air 3 relevant, what better way than to put a one camera on the Air 4?
Okay, now you ready for this? We will tell you something. We've experienced this because we've been doing this for a while. DJI does not give a rat's ass about what we think about selling drones and cannibalizing one drone for another. If they got something ready, they will hit us with it. If they're really, really afraid that they're going to push this through and kick DJI out, then they're going to shove as many DJI drones down our throats as they possibly
Before
can.
the tariffs hit.
Yes, and here's the big one, man. What happens to all your action and pocket products?
Do they get the tariffs too, Bill?
That's what I'm curious about. Is the technology in them horrible too? Is Mimo a bad app? Does it send stuff back to the mothership?
Boy. Yeah, what if it sent all your action camera of you riding your your off road bike on the trails or whatever or something like that?
Like I said it before, I don't think it has anything to do with information.
Right. And they don't have to worry about your Action 4 taking up the airspace or anything.
So I won't get in trouble if, like, say, I take my Action 4 and turn it on and, like, throw it way up high in the air. They won't get mad at me.
Oh yeah. It's,
I threw it 50 feet above my house.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're gonna level a Mackey style fine on you.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Wait a minute, Air 4. Wait a minute, what's Stevie saying?
Well, help
Hey,
you
what's up,
balance
Stevie?
your
Glad to have you,
checkbook.
Stevie. The Air 4 will help you balance your checkbook, help your kids with their homework. It will be AI. It will be all aware.
Well, Steve, if they
AI.
cancel the Air 4, I'll be a rich man then.
Okay, here's what I'm agreeing. Here we go. Air 4 next. Okay, but I think it's going to be 2 1-inch sensors.
It better be.
I think it's
Why
going to
would
be
it have 2 1-inch?
Huh?
Why would it have
better
2
be
1-inch
what we
sensors?
put in
One's
the
going to be a
upgrade.
zoom lens and one's going to be a standard lens.
Or how about they just throw a couple 4/3 sensors on there instead?
Okay, or we'll do a 1/1/3 zoom and a 1-inch sensor.
Yeah,
No,
that'd be more
no,
like
no,
it.
no.
Okay, what do you mean? So what do you want,
Bill,
Randy?
Bill, can I get 2 sensors on my Mini 5 Pro in the fall?
2
But
sensors.
with the two different sensors sizes, you get two different
Yeah, it
color
looks like you're filming
profiles.
2 different drones or something. I want
Yeah.
them to be the same size sensors.
That's the best thing about the Air 3 is that
Yep.
you
That's
can't
what
tell
makes
the
it better
difference.
than the Mavic 3 Pro.
Randy's letting it out
sensor
here.
matchup.
Well,
So,
Ron's
I don't know.
predicting end of July, right, Ron? I mean,
And
that's
the
what
early rumors were end in July.
They usually
So they're
push
getting
out one
themselves
sometime
ready
in
for the fourth quarter for all the holiday season and selling out the everyone buying their stuff. On the enterprise side, some of that is end of the year purchases. You got to get all those tax write offs, so they're going to try to beat that. But also, did you guys see that the Mini 3 Pro got an SDK release?
I did not see that, Dale.
But nothing else in the consumer class.
Okay, and we think the Mini 3 Pro is somewhat discontinued. You cannot buy it on DJI's website.
Yeah, so that's
Or
why the
you can
SDK's
still
out.
buy it on Amazon sporadically, but it's sold out on DJI's website, and it has been for weeks.
I like
So-
this one.
So are we gonna get a? Not
Say
an
it.
EXO, but a Specta 3, Specta Mini 3?
Why not?
If they added an SDK to it,
Why not?
they need to have some sort of SDK so that they can license it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing that out there.
That's true. That makes sense. So,
And
Not
so-
a doing tall photo with.
so we get a 4-year-old drone instead of a new one. All right, all right.
Well,
Well,
the drone reviewer says that the Spectre Mini they sent him is the Mini 2.
Oh, for the 4K?
Why would they send? Why would they send somebody like a 3-year-old or 4-year-old drone, a white label drone?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about the Specta stuff, so.
But so, okay, now, what are we going to say the 1/1/3 is going to do? Is it going to be a zoom or is it going to be a telephoto? Now, Mark is saying it's a telephoto lens, and both of them are going to have a digital zoom. That's just basically a crop, right?
Well, that's the way it is now. Of course, it has the wide angle. The wide angle digital zooms, and the telephoto lens digitally zooms or whatever. So that's basically same setup now. Except, they're not, neither of them are 1-inch, but one's a telephoto.
I mean, but
Now,
still, 3/4 of an inch is pretty damn big.
Right. It's only
In
10
whose world?
smaller. And somebody explained to me having that smaller sensor allowed you to do something better. Maybe it was digitally zoomed. There's some advantage to not being a 1 inch sensor. Being a little bit smaller gave the drone some advantage.
Right now, history tells us that
Ooh, whoa.
we theoretically we should see a Aki Sync 5 with this drone because every Air series has had a new
Right, but I
transmission
don't know
system.
if they if that I don't think any air drones have come up that's quick or whatever.
No,
Dre's
probably be like
telling.
an oh 04 plus.
Yeah, right. Do like a Mavic 3 style, put the plus in there.
Right.
Hey, Bill, I'm going to throw out an invite for you. You got to
What?
come down here sometime in June. We're going to pull out a Flycart 30 and start flying it around.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Now the 1 inch sensor in the Air 2S is not quite 1 inch,
True.
so
But
it's a small 1 inch.
every inch makes we're all making jokes about the size now.
Yeah. Your size matters.
Well, I still think I don't know. To me, and I guess it's just because I'm longing for my old Phantom 4 Pro. The color profile of the Air 2S seems as close as possible to the original Phantom 4 Pro to me personally,
Right.
than
Right.
any other drone that DJI has out right now.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was the cleanest, purest color profile. It seemed to always, no matter what it was, even if it was a bright day or whatever, it seemed to always get a very crisp picture. And even the video quality was really good always.
Well, let's face it, guys. Ever since the launch of the Air 2S, every DJI drone since then has all had a great camera. I'm not counting the SE, mini SEs, but every drone since that, they've all been great camera drones.
Yep. You got a point.
Somebody asked me about a flyaway today, and I said the last time I even heard or saw anything about
Yeah.
a flyaway has been like 6 years.
Yeah, it's been forever ago.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I take that back unless it's an exo drone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean a DJI drone.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I might even hear of an Autel flying away every now and again.
But you're right.
Ooh,
Flyways.
yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Or what is it? What is it? Rod loves so
Oh,
much.
the Air
Global.
4. Yeah, that.
But-
What's it?
They
Hank
won't do
Hess
that.
had that mechanical shutter in his rumors.
Rod loves the global shutter.
I have a
the
feeling they
global
will not
shutter.
put a mechanical shutter in a consumer.
Drone ever
Drone.
again.
That's how I feel. Like, why would they put it? If they was going to put one, they would put it on the Mavic 3.
Enterprise. They won't do
Yeah.
it. They won't do it on
Yeah.
non-enterprise.
That's another reason that I miss the Phantom 4 Pro. I mean, you can still
mechanical.
get them. You can still buy a Phantom 4 Pro, and I think there's like an off-market battery for them now that you can get. I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, well, let's shun all these tariffs and stuff. Let's all just go buy Phantom 4 Pros and just fly them forever.
I still got my Skydio 2 over here in a box.
Your America drone. Fly that America drone, Bill.
that with that great Wi-Fi connection.
Well, you get like 3 kilometers with that, right?
Well, for out on the farm, I can do pretty good.
Dale.
What's that?
He can almost get to the end of the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bill, do you have the controller with that, or just
Yeah.
the beacon?
I have
You
the
do?
beacon. I have.
Bill has the
man,
whole kit.
Yeah, I have everything.
The Pro Cinema
And
bundle.
I actually have a very special battery that was bought for me by someone who was always super cool to everybody in the drone community and was always baking. And remember Rick Halber?
Correct. Yeah.
He bought me one of my Skydio 2 batteries.
Rick's
So,
a great guy. What a great
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if you got to ever know Rick or not, Randy. He was a super cool dude.
He
No.
supported almost everybody in the drone community.
Yeah, he
Always
would,
got
and
good
he would find
comments.
a way to get into everybody's stream.
Yeah.
He would find a way. He would
Even
find a way.
not even just his streams, your recorded videos, he'd always drop a nice comment.
And since Bob Casey's here, we always say, "United we drone, free the drones."
Bob Casey.
So it was kind of an interesting night tonight. We had a very. I made the joke in the description that we were gonna probe and prod Brian to get his drone flying and editing secrets. But we
Did
really
we learn any secrets?
we didn't. We went off on some tangents, but
Here's a secret. Go down to Galveston where it's beautiful and fly a lot. That's a Brian tip.
Well, I tell you what, this one I'm going to be putting out tonight. 5 different devices are in this video.
Oh wow, a 5-camera shoot.
and are they all DJI products?
No,
Is there any 360 video in there,
Wait,
Brian?
wait,
yes,
they're all Chinese products.
there are Chinese products.
They're all Chinese products
Uh-oh,
They're
I hope
involved.
they
probably
weren't
all Chinese
broadcasting.
products.
I like
But,
when Brian, you put that spear video up recently. You inspired me to get my spear out of the closet and
Yeah,
get
I've
it
been-
going again.
Well, you know what started me though was the Avata. I said I want to track this thing. So I
Yeah,
put the Insta 360 1x or 1x2x just on a stand, and I moved it around the yard. And I
Yeah.
really have gotten into keyframing. I
right,
love keyframing now.
right. Well, the app, the Insta360 apps, the desktop and the phone app have drastically improved in the past 6 months.
And that's why it's so much easier. I
Yeah,
have been able to break the keyframes down per second,
wow,
putting 8 to 10 keyframes in 1 second of video.
wow.
You just got to spread that
What
timeline.
the hell are you doing with 8 keyframes in 1 second of video?
He said you could.
No, I have.
That's what I was saying. He said he'd
What you're
done it,
doing,
man.
what you're doing is keeping that drone dead in the center of the
Yeah,
picture.
you can track it by all those keyframes. You can make tracking where there was no tracking by adding all these keyframes.
Oh, okay, so you know what you need to do now then. If you can do it, pull those images out, and like if you track it all the way across like a scene, like, and you can pull those images out, and you can, if you're going to set your camera at a center point, then you can have like one dead Avata still frame here, one dead Avata
You
still
can do
frame
that.
here, and then all the way, and then you can have the Avata fly up and then match through all the frames as it comes through.
Well, that's what I'm doing is just tracking the Avata, because you get going 35 miles an hour. Yeah, it's kind of hard to track that.
Well, so the reason I was saying that is, Brian, are you free next week, or would you like to come back next week and we can actually talk about drones? Or are you busy? He's like, I don't want to commit this soon, man.
No, I don't.
Too much
'Cause
to
I know I
ask.
got something next week, and I can't remember what it is.
Well, that's cool. Because other than that, I don't have a subject for next week. We'll have to probably
if you're available, we'll do a whole editing show.
and if not, we'll just do
Everyone
another.
to sleep.
We'll talk more about Elise Stefanik
In fact,
and
By the way,
We'll
I
ask
am
her to come on, Bill.
huh?
We'll ask her to come on next week.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're gonna call her?
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you,
bring her-
Ron.
I'll bring
Appreciate
her
it.
up.
Yeah, and we're asking her to come on and tell us why Chinese drones are bad, especially DJI.
Yeah.
But since we know she won't come, we need a backup plan.
So
Anyway.
Angel could talk about him flying his drone at the Pearl Jam concert.
Yeah, or what was it? He went to BC, right? He flew up in BC, right? So because Angel, I don't know if he's got plans or
Let's
not.
get
'cause
Pearl
tonight
Jam
was-
on the show too. Then, if Angel's coming on, we'll get Pearl
Yeah,
Jam.
we'll,
on,
yeah,
too.
we'll have Eddie Vedder on next
Or at least
week,
Eddie.
right?
At least get Eddie on.
Yeah, we'll have Eddie Vedder. on
You can
next
get Eddie. Yeah, he's good.
We can get him. Yeah.
Even in the middle of a show, he'll come on just to talk to us.
We'll promise him a free drone if he comes on.
He'll start. Oh, Ron, what are you putting up?
A budget drone in the closet I don't fly anymore.
A
I've got
Contigo
a chewed
drone,
up
Okay,
Tiny Hawk, too.
Cajito or something.
a Cajito drone. All right. Well, I got stuff to do, and I'm willing to.
All
And
right.
Randy, I know he's got to work tomorrow. He's got to get up early.
All right.
Brian's going to be busy, so we'll come up with something.
I'll let you know, Bill.
Somebody,
but I know I
Johnny
got
was going to
something
have
next week,
Randall
but I
on
can't
next
remember what it
week.
is.
Brian said he's going to let us know. We based off our editing show.
Okay, that's cool. That would be fine if it works
No,
out.
we're
That would
not
be
boring
great.
people that way.
Is Johnny going to have?
I think it was
Randy on?
Ray. I think Captain Ray was going to have Randall on.
Oh, right. Tomorrow?
I don't know, but I don't know if it's tomorrow. But I thought I heard somebody say Captain Ray was going to have Randall on sometime.
And we'll ask him why he doesn't think consumer drones are good enough.
Well, because all the real money for people like him's in the enterprise, government contracts and such.
So we're just chump change. We're pocket change. You know, that's all we are. Consumer drones. to
well,
them.
we're fickle consumers of whatever. We're not
No.
reliable customers like the enterprise crowd.
We're
Right, Dale?
non-contributing political people. We don't contribute to the politicians, so we don't get a vote.
Well, like everybody keeps
We're too
pointing out,
busy
we don't have
sending all our
lobbyists.
data back to China.
We don't
But
have lobbyists.
how big is the consumer hobbyist market?
Well, it's not
How
just
many
that we
people are
don't
out there?
have anybody to
Yeah.
represent.
How
us.
big is it, Dale? As small as I can get?
Well, we don't have anybody to support us at all. We don't have a representative. We don't have
No.
we don't have a congressman. We don't have a senator. Nobody that
No.
says drones are good. That drones have been flying. I've been flying drones for years. If they actually was somebody that did, then we might. But we don't have anybody.
Do you ever could get somebody real famous, like maybe Eddie Vedder?
Invite him on the show
Wait,
next
wait,
week. We'll
wait.
teach you how to fly a drone.
Martha Stewart flies drones.
I thought it was in
Yeah.
Iglesia Estevez he flew the Inspire one.
I don't know. Well, she just said Martha. He just said Martha Stewart. So possibly.
She flies drones.
Did she craft the drone herself in the kitchen?
I don't know, but what is in that new commercial? She's a dirt nerd.
Yeah.
Jeff
She's a
Dunham flies
she's a busy
drones.
woman.
Oh, Jeff, really? Jeff Dunham flies RC. Well, if he's one of them AMAs, he's not going to like us
Yeah, he's
flying
not
drones.
going to support us drone
Caitlyn
guys.
Jenner.
not-
Caitlyn Jenner flies drones.
You know you're a redneck when you fly RC aircraft.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we might be Squirrel the whole next episode next
We
week.
could be Squirrel the rest of the month for all you
We
know.
could just go Squirrel for the whole episode next week. We don't know. We might. That's something to do too. We haven't done something in a while. We haven't done a support your local drone channel in a while,
Okay.
in a long while. So
That sounds good.
maybe. Well, what I'm going to ask is if anybody wants to send me a new drone channel, or if you have a small drone channel that you would like to get some, notice and exposure for your channel, please send me a private message on Facebook, or I will post up a link for something like that. And if any of you all can think of 2 or 3, that would be great. And we'll stick them all together, and we'll do a support your local drone channel.
Hey, Bill,
next
I
week.
only need about 50 subscribers to get to 4,000. Can I promote my channel?
Yeah, that would be great, Ron. But the only problem is I've got one new guy that I'm talking to, and believe it or not, I've not seen anybody else notice him yet.
Oh, no? A new guy.
And get this, he's got a unique channel name, The Drone Guy.
The drone guy.
That's it. It's this
I
guy.
like
He's
that.
already got 8,000 subscribers. He's built most of his channel on. You're not going to believe this. A Mini 2 SE.
Yeah, I see, huh?
Yeah, and he's like, what he'll do is he'll put up what he blew up on to begin with. I think was on TikTok. He made a vertical video, and what he does is he put the grid lines up, and he'll center whatever he wants to be in the vertical video, and that's what he stays with. And then he just chops off the sides, and that's what he did. And I actually posted one of his tutorials in Coast to Coast Drones. Like I said, his channel's called The Drone Guy. So I'm hoping, I haven't seen any live streams on his channel.
I got him.
Yeah, so he's bigger.
So what you're saying is sell your more expensive drones and just have a budget drone.
Well, I think it would be because he's it would be cool to have him on because he's built most of his viewership just off of this one drone.
Right.
So, and we're all bitching and moaning, saying drones are dead, drones, and I'm like, he's done this with.
No, it makes sense. Marcus says he always gets more views off those SE type drones than he does the Mavic 3 Pro or whatever. He always does better with the cheap drones.
More people have them, I guess. All right, well, we'll come up
Well,
with something.
That could be a whole nother story. So we got to say our goodnights.
Yep. All right. Has anybody got anything new coming up that they want to share for people to potentially watch on their channel?
I'm gonna be releasing the Avata 2 firmware upgrade video hopefully tomorrow.
Randy?
I'm working on a long-term Air 3 review, but it's still a few weeks out. So
Okay, cool.
That sounds good.
Brian?
Got a video coming out here, and as soon as we're done, it'll be up at that meetup we had Sunday.
I want to
But
see that.
it has been in the back of my head, though. I am going to do a tutorial on keyframing because it is a little complicated and it's pretty tedious.
I'll
And
be
what's
watching that
the
one.
I'd like to
what's
see
the
that.
one where you Bezier? When you really get high, when you really get into the keyframing and you do that Bezier curve on them, You know, because he was starting talking about, and I was trying to remember what it was. You know, when you get out there and you start pulling the bars and you start getting the quick
Yeah.
runs and turns and everything.
And Brian, if you come back next week, I want to talk about the spear for a few minutes.
The spear?
The
That could use
NC360 spear that only fits
a
the Air
firmware
2S.
update.
The spear.
If you don't know anything about it, I'll have it on set next week.
In fact,
Okay, that's cool.
There will be a picture of it in this video because a lot of people ask me, "What is that?" You know, because it's been 2 years since it came out.
If you wonder how Alex Excardo gets some of the shots he does in his videos,
Oh, sphere. Okay, sphere. Sphere. Okay,
Sphere.
that goes with the Air 2S. Okay.
Maybe we could even get Alex on the show next week.
I bet you could probably get a refurb of that now, couldn't you?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe, possibly.
Or,
Dale,
or
you said
I'm sure that whatever it cost when it came out, it doesn't cost that now.
yeah. And
No, it
next
was
month you
400 when it
said
came
you're
out.
going to do what was it? Fly in a box or flat?
Yeah,
box?
we had our flat cart demo unit comes in tomorrow, so we'll start. We'll probably do a few things of like maybe an unboxing of that.
And Chuck stuck with us, and he sent me a picture of it. I just wanted Chuck passed his recurrent today.
Oh,
Yay!
nice, Chuck.
Good job, Chuck.
Good
Good
job.
job. Good job.
Now you can start making money with your drone.
He's he's had it for a while.
Bill,
Go
you
ahead.
need to get this drone guy on here.
I
wanna
know.
No, I want to know. He's got a video that's 25 minutes long with the Mini SC. It says my best flight ever at Newell Lighthouse in Maine, and it's got 51,000 views.
Wow.
He's got another one that's got like 100,000 views, dude.
It's
The drone
25
guy.
minutes long. Who watches a video of a drone for 25 minutes?
How many subscribers does he have?
Like
8,000.
yeah, getting close to 10,000.
But you got
8500.
them all recently, right?
All right, guys. Like I said,
Yeah.
we'll
Gotta
see what's
go.
going
Good
on.
night, everyone.
All
Take
right,
care.
thank you. Y'all have a good
Wednesday.
one. Peace out. Bye bye.